Now I gotta do a video real quick in response to Pastor Dowell's video, Tent City America. Up to 50 people per week in America, in California specifically, are moving into Tent City. Bring a tent. There's an empty piece of land out here where everyone else is living, and that's your new home. How's that American dream working out for you? Do you want to sing the Star Spangled Banner right now? I mean, what do you want to do? God Bless America? What song? Pick a song. Let's sing one together. Again, while we're giving out billions and billions of dollars to Israel and the IMF and all these other countries, people are living in tent cities at home. Now it's time to touch on a nerve that I've been touching on here lately regarding strategic defaulting on your obligations, such as credit cards, debt in general, house payment, all that. Out of all these people who were doing the right thing, I love that word. Oh, my sister uses that, used to, not anymore. Oh no, not anymore. Used to use that word on me all the time. Yeah, but that's not doing the right thing. You should be doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. Oh yeah, and you're doing the right thing. Yeah, I know your bank account's going down and down and down and down and down. And you're not, you're drowning. You're drowning and you're not coming up for air because you're doing the right thing. At what point does the natural ability, the natural law of you are a human being allowed to do anything you have to do to survive for your own well-being and your family's own well-being kick in and tell you that now doing the right thing may not be paying such and such and such and such bills, credit card debt, again, money that was created out of nothing to begin with and given to you to use, and then you have to pay back the real money, of course, out of your paycheck. And yeah, you did swipe that card and it did buy real things. But no real money was ever created. The printing press at the Federal Reserve never even got turned on. It was nothing more than a computer entry on a computer screen at a bank saying we just created X amount more dollars into the system through this loan to so-and-so. That's it. That's all it is. So, imagine a person over here in Tent City decided 2 years ago, seeing this coming, right? Had they had ears to hear and eyes to see, which they don't because they're average people, average Americans, believing in the American dream, believing in the American lie, that I was in the process of destroying and finding out what that was about and doing the opposite, get myself out of that lie, change my whole thinking, etc. Imagine one of these people decided, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, my bank account is going nowhere, as a matter of fact it's getting worse, my car breaks down, I always have to put it on a credit card, high interest rates, I'm getting nowhere fast, but everyone's saying the economy is going to turn around, maybe a year to 2 years, I can stick that out, I can live the way I'm living now, I can stick that out, only to find out you weren't listening to Realist News. You weren't listening to Pastor Dowell. You weren't listening to Christopher Green, C. Green with the Green Wave, and a whole host of others. Max Kaiser, Alex Jones, Gerald Celente, Peter Schiff. I could wrap off a few other names, right? You weren't listening to them because they would have told you then, and me too, there will be no recovery. There will be no recovery. Therefore, what should your mind tell you if you know now there will be no recovery? You're struggling, you have a job currently, those 2 years ago, right? You had that job until now. So the last 2 years you've been using all that money that comes in out of your paycheck to survive, and a large portion of it goes to paying debt. Banker created fiat currency used debt. Oh, I gotta have a credit score. Listen, all of you in Tent City, how's your credit score? FreeCreditReport.com. Tell everybody, your friends and your mom. Let's get those bozos on that credit card commercial. The credit report. You know, he's always playing a little guitar and he's smiling. FreeCreditReport.com. Yeah. Yeah. FreeCreditReport.com. What the hell do you have to say to those people in Tent City? They wanted to, I gotta have my credit, and I bet they did everything they could, like my sister, I've mentioned many times, doing the right thing, who is also struggling like everybody else. The same as everybody. Matter of fact, probably not as bad as most people, but their bank account ain't going nowhere. Most people I talk to's bank account ain't going nowhere but down slowly. So why wouldn't they take this knowledge in advance and say, I'm not going to pay those credit cards anymore. I'm not going to pay this house anymore. And when I get kicked out, at least I'll have, in 2 years' time, you should have a couple $20,000, $30,000. I mean, average mortgage in California, some of these places where they're coming from, got to be $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Easy. Even, easy. That's in your pocket. And then, in the end of the 2 years, you can tell the bank, F off. I have a right as a human being to survive and live. Paying my debt is not first and foremost. Living and surviving is first and foremost. Food and shelter is next after that. Your debt and crap is at the bottom of that list. So you can't tell somebody who saw this coming in advance, like some people who strategically did do this in California, as a matter of fact, that, hey, that was a dumb move. You got that money, you need to pay it back. Okay, they paid it all back except for the mortgage, of course. So they got foreclosed on, doing the right thing. Still couldn't handle it, got foreclosed on. But I did pay off the credit cards. I made big payments to the credit cards with the money I wasn't making on the mortgage. And now I'm kicked out of my house. I still don't have any money. The credit card companies are happy, both of them, because they got their money, but the mortgage company isn't. My credit score is completely destroyed. It's because the biggest thing you cannot afford to not pay, as far as your credit score goes, is your mortgage. So all the good deeds you did, the right thing, paying off the credit cards, left you with a mortgage that you still couldn't pay, you lost your job, and you got kicked out anyways. So what the hell do you have to show for it, you silly bastard sheep? What do you have? Oh, ma'am, do you want to say something? Oh, that's right, she can't say something. This is a pre-recorded video of her living in a freaking tent in California. The most prosperous state in the country. Hollywood. Extravagant lifestyles. Beautiful homes. The biggest, my definition? No. Scratch all that. The biggest turd in the United States of America. You think Detroit's bad? I understand. But the illusion going on in California is far greater than that. And it's the biggest turd of all. It's the biggest boat anchor of all that's getting thrown overboard. And here we are seeing people living in tents who did the right thing financially. I love that word. You gotta have my little quotes next to me. I'm sorry about that. Gotta have it. Did the right thing. Paid all my debt until I just lost my job, and then I was living paycheck to paycheck anyways. So I immediately had no choice. For some reason, maybe you switched jobs, got canned shortly after that. Therefore, your unemployment doesn't count anymore, whatever. Have a nice day, you're stuck. Or whatever situation you were in, you weren't allowed to get unemployment. You are now in big trouble. Why are you living, like Pastor Dow said, why are you living there when you have friends and family? They won't take you in? Hey, maybe not. You may not. There are people out there. But this is shocking. Up to 50 people per week. Not 50 a month even, which would be sick. Up to 50 a week. How is that economic recovery working? Oh, that's right. Obama said it was the Japanese earthquake tsunami that caused our economy to not quite turn around as they thought, right? Unexpected nonsense because of this, right? It's always unexpected. Headline news. Get ready. Roll it out, boys. CNN, Fox, everybody. Unexpectedly bad numbers. Unexpectedly, we didn't. Federal Reserve Chairman, unexpectedly. I misspoke. Yeah, okay. Me too. I misspoke too. I misspoke when I thought I was living in a free country, the most prosperous country, the world's most powerful dollar, the world's most powerful military, superpower, peacekeeper of the world, my illusion, right? I misspoke then, right? Now I'm not misspeaking, and I know the truth. And as they say, the truth shall set you free. It has set me free. And I'm glad, as I said in my other videos, I'm glad that I was able to find fraudulent activity and problems with my chain of title in my specific circumstance so that I didn't have to pay that mortgage and stopped due to the lawyer recommending me to stop. Now, having said that, if you're one of those people I'm struggling. My bank account's dwindling. I'm in trouble. Got to keep that credit score high. For what? As I said in some of my oldest videos ever, back in the Facebook days when I used to be on Facebook, which I can't stand anymore, which is why I don't have Facebook anymore, because of the freaking sheep on there. Every day, man, I'm posting stuff. Check this out. And I'd always throw in there every now and then, there will be no recovery. This economic collapse will be like nothing else we have ever experienced or the world has ever experienced. Oh, no, it's the numbers show it's alright. It's not that bad. Okay. But do the numbers show we've ever had this trillions of dollars in debt this high? Do the numbers show we're borrowing 42% or 42 cents out of every dollar? No. Is our status as a world reserve currency going away? Yes. Should you be concerned? Yes. But you don't want to talk to me. You don't even want to comment. You don't even want to say, yeah, that's pretty crappy. You don't want to say nothing on my Facebook response. Just blank. And then my wife's ex-friends, not friends anymore. Yeah, I see what he posts sometimes, but I skip over it. Now when he said, as soon as I see his post, I don't even know what it is. I just skip over it and look at the other ones. Oh, the other one's about what you're going to do with your kids today. And you're going to go to the mall, and I might go take them to the water park, and I've got time on my hands. I'm a stay-at-home mom or whatever. I'm going to go do this, and I was at my friend's last night, and I kind of stayed out a little too late, and I had too much to drink. Oh my God, I feel like crap. I made it to work late today. Do you people have something coming for you? This is so disturbing to see this. Up to 50 a week in California alone. That's California. How about every other state? They're probably not at that level yet, but I guarantee there are problems of people, tent city, coming to a country near you. And remember what the Webbot report had said, and I'd already seen a few cases of this a while back, but it was almost like one of those little taste of the Webbot report coming true, but not fully. Where they said, you are going to see people like this, tent city, homeless, whatever, deciding, light bulb clicks on, America's been foreclosed. Every house all over the place, practically, is foreclosed, that if no one's living in it, it's gone, it's empty. Why the hell am I living in a tent? Why the hell am I living outside in the brutal weather, whether it's winter or summer or whatever, when there's freaking empty houses, none of them are selling, nobody can get credit, credit scores don't matter anymore. Why the hell am I sitting outside? And a light bulb will click on, I'm going to go find a house, and I'm going to go live into it. Go live inside of it. I'm going to basically break into the house, because no one's living in it. It's empty. It's been empty. I've been homeless for, 6 months now, and that house hasn't had a single person come by. I'm going to go live in it. Not only me, but the friends that I made in Tent City, my pals now. Dude, 4-bedroom house over here. Let's roll. Get your kids or whatever. Which I don't even want to hear. I don't even want to know about stories right here where there's kids involved. Mother and child. It's too much. Even for me, I don't even want to think about what it would be like to have a family out there in Tent City who did the right thing, only to get crapped on by the banks and government and big corporations, and then they can stand up proudly and hold their chest out. I'm in Tent City. I did the right thing. So you have a 700 plus credit score? Well, not anymore. After I finally lost my job, then it all went away. But up until that time, it was just pay all your bills, pay all your credit card, pay all your mortgage, pay all these fees. For what? What in the hell did you get out of that? What are you left with? And you say, well, yeah, but that's just I know it's 50 a week, but in comparison to the rest of the country, that's not a lot of people. That's a tiny, 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 tiny percent of a percent of a percent. That's not going to be me. It's not going to be you, huh? Not yet. And let's just be fair. What if it's 20% of the working population? Greatest depression on the face of the earth. But it's still not you, and it's still not me, and it's still not a lot of people who watch my videos. Does it matter? Because it's not us, oh, who cares, right? That's the mentality of people. It's not happening to me. It's not in my area, whatever. I don't care. Long as I got my job, just like the people who called up when Obama made the threat of you're not going to get your Social Security check if they don't pass this. The lines blew up on C-SPAN, incoming calls. Congress is about to vote. What do you want to tell them? Every single, didn't matter what, Republican, Democrat, Independent, didn't matter. 9 out of 10 people, as I said in my other videos. I need that money. I can't survive without it. Pass the law. That was it. End of story. I got to tell you something. People, as I've said before, and as I said on freaking stupid Facebook, and it went along with what Lindsey Williams was saying. In 2 years, from late 2009 when he said it, in 2 years, you will not recognize America. I think it's pretty obvious. Now, granted, the average person isn't even hearing this story. The average person will not agree with you right now, probably, and say, I still recognize it. It's the same as it was as far as I know. I haven't noticed anything, because they're not looking. If they look, they would clearly see, oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, I didn't know that law passed. What kind of law is that? What was in the healthcare bill? How could that even be healthcare? It's not. It was a control bill, not a healthcare bill. Oh, right? All these things. I'm not going to go on forever. So anyways, that's all I have to say right now. You're about to see stuff kicking in high gear. And as I've mentioned about the Mayan calendar, how each of these cycles, of these steps, the step pyramid, where there's these 7 steps, so to speak, and each step is basically a timeline of events. Not that it knows what events are going to happen, just basically as a period of time. And once you go to the next step, when that last cycle expires and a new one begins, time is basically compressed. So a shorter amount of time will take place for the same type of change, the same type of similar event kind of thing. Not necessarily events, but the same things, progress, all kinds of stuff are going to happen in a shorter amount of time, including not just progress, but wars, things that happen over time that may be hundreds of years between a big war, or thousands of years, turn to hundreds of years, turn to a few dozen years, turns to every few years, turns to, oh my God, we just had one, now we're in another one, etc. Look at what's happening in the Middle East right now. And we're on that second to last step from what I understand. That also assumes that December 21st, 2012 is the actual proper date, Mayan calendar end date. Some people argue it's October 28th, 2011. Based off of what I'm seeing right now, I still don't think it's the 2011. I still think it's 2012. But I could be wrong, and I don't care. I'm just telling you that. If it's still right, then we are on the second to last step, where it was 19 years long or so of things happening. And if you look back 19 years, think of all the things that have happened. Quite a bit. And technology improvements too. But 2012, not even the beginning of 2012, it'll be sometime into 2012 when there's approximately, I think, 260 days left of the year. That's when we enter the last step, or whatever we want to call it, of that pyramid, where it's no longer 19 years, which was the last cycle, and it's no longer 200 something years, which was the cycle before that, etc. It is now compressed in less than a year's time. So what's going to take place in less than a year's time will be unprecedented. You will be regardless of how bad you're affected by whatever happens, the excitement in myself of knowing that I'm going to be alive, and everyone watching this video too is going to be alive during this cycle thing, whatever it ends up being and happening, even if it's terrible, the chances, the statistics of you being alive right now, even though there's 7 billion people on the planet, is crazy. It's incredible to know that right now those of us who are alive are going to be experiencing this, whatever it is, and it'll be one of the most significant events of all of human history, at least during the 5,000 plus year cycle or whatever, every 5,125 years or whatever. The Mayan calendar starts over, but I don't know that stepped pyramid cycle starts over every 5,125 years. Allegedly, that was the beginning of the Earth being created. So I kind of don't go with that. It doesn't sit right with me, and I think instead it's more or less the cycle of the 5,125 year Mayan cycle that 7-step period applies. But I can't prove that. It's just a thought I had. Anyways. Sorry to go a little crazy on you, sideways Mayan calendar when we're talking about Tent City. But I am paying attention to these things, and I'm seeing things speed up. And yes, things are about to speed up, get worse, faster, hardcore, etc. Therefore, silver market, gold market, you're going to see explosion type of volatility, up and down, like I said. But overall trend will be up, 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 in a way. End of discussion. Don't even waste your time arguing. Yes, Bozo Beast, I'm talking to you too. But again, I know I made a bet with you that we'll see $50 again this year, and then I'll crush your little dreams in hopes of you being right. But if I'm wrong, I will do a video, like I said, saying, hey, Bozo Beast was right. And matter of fact, I can't call him Bozo Beast anymore. Duh Obese Beast was right. Silver didn't hit $50 for 2011. Sorry, I failed to meet my prediction. Not that it's going to matter, because silver is still going up. But I'm very confident, extremely confident, $50 silver will be here very soon. As I told him, I don't even have to wait till the end of the year, by the way. It'll be here before that. But since that's the agreement, we'll wait till the end of the year to see what happens. Anyways, I know I shouldn't be arguing with people over this kind of stuff because it's really irrelevant. Kind of like this lady. Would it really matter for her to argue to somebody if she has a terrible credit score and defaulted on her house, defaulted on credit cards, versus somebody who has a nice job still, has a decent house, pays all their bills, and has some cash in the bank, who's trying to argue with her to tell her, hey, you scum, you bozo, you ruined your credit score. So what? The banks created this system. We were all born into it. We were all not even alive. Most of us, for the most part, I would safely say all of us, are not alive. We're not alive when this Federal Reserve took power in 1913, created the banking laws, fractional reserve lending, all that stuff, which was created by the Federal Reserve. If you're a bank in this country, you had to abide by those rules. And if you're a citizen born, you were born into it. You didn't even know that it was wrong from the beginning or that it was flawed from the beginning. You were just born into this system. You looked around, being a human being, your brain figures things out, and this is how people talk, this is language, this is how you write. Oh, this is something called math and science, and this is what an economy is, and this is what banking. And next thing you know, it's just, you think it's just normal, as if it's normal when it rains and when the sun comes out. That's a natural process. To you, everything around you is a natural process because it is what it is. You're already inside it. You're already a part of it. No one else is complaining. Everyone else is participating in it just fine. So it must be right. Only to find out it was deeply flawed on purpose so they can put in this world government, new world order, one world currency, etc., etc., etc. And they don't care that this lady and everybody else over there is dirt poor, have nothing left, and is living in a freaking tent because they need people like that to suffer and people like us to witness people like that suffer, so we get scared that we don't want to suffer like that, and then we see our jobs getting cut and everything. Now we're in that situation. Save us, government, save us. How did this happen? Okay, we'll save you. Sign here on the dotted line. We're going to a new world currency. That's the answer to the solution, or that's the solution to the problem. That's the answer. Okay, just make the pain stop. Get me out of the tent. Get me out of the freaking weather. Prosperity, I need it. I'll do anything. Just like the people that called C-SPAN. I need that money to go through. Pass that damn vote because I need that money in my retirement, Social Security. I don't care what the laws are. Just pass that law. And that's what she would say, and that's what everybody in that position would say. I don't care. Give me that one world government. Give me that one world currency. I'm tired of living on the streets. And they'll accept it. Which is why I don't want to have to be in that situation to accept anything. I want to be near my boy, Pastor Dowell, living like he lives, going from a high pace, high whatever lifestyle to a calmer, a little more submissive, whatever you want to call it, lifestyle, and just chill. That's what it's about. So again, I knew this long ago and I made my preparations. I strategically did things knowing what I'd be doing in the future to make that happen. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let anything get in the way that I could throw away and get out of the way to make that happen, like keeping my credit score nicely, when in fact I was taken advantage of by the bank, which gave me the reason not to pay through my lawyer's advice because of the research he did, finding major problems. Not my problem, is it? So, I'll try this one more time. Hope you have a good night. Good or bad, I can't wait to see what happens in the markets tomorrow. And from this day forward, the type of intensity in everything, whether it be politics, markets, jobs, tent city, you name it. You're going to see my face probably a lot more frequently doing videos because there's going to be so much crap to report on. So, having said that, have a nice night.